Have you ever been in a room where someone, without raising their voice, without making a scene, just goes quiet? They don't storm out, they don't argue, they just withdraw. And suddenly, the entire energy of the room shifts. It's like a vacuum forms around them. People get nervous. They start talking faster, trying to fill the space. They look over, trying to get a read, trying to pull a reaction. It's like they have this almost supernatural control over everyone, just by pulling their energy back. Now, flip that. Imagine if that person was you. Imagine if, in the middle of that heated argument, you just stopped talking. If, when that person sent you that passive-aggressive text, you just didn't reply. If you chose silence instead of the automatic defense, retreat instead of the explosion, what do you think would happen? That's what we're talking about today. Because there's a secret power in unavailability, and it's one of the most misunderstood and underutilized forces we have. We've been trained to be available, always on, always ready to reply, to help, to explain, to perform. But this constant availability, this endless emotional accessibility has become a prison. It's made us predictable. And when you're predictable, you're controllable. Therefore, the world has learned to play you like a fiddle, using your own reactions to control the tune. The day you stop being so available is the day the music stops. It's the day the game changes. And it's the day the people who thought they had you all figured out realize they know absolutely nothing about the universe that exists inside you. This isn't about playing games. This is about taking your power back. And it starts with understanding the cost of giving it away so freely. So why do we do it? Why are we so compulsively available? It starts young. We're conditioned to believe that our value is directly tied to our accessibility. Be a good friend, be a good partner, be a good employee. And what does good usually mean? It means being there. It means saying yes when you're screaming no on the inside. It means responding to that 10 p.m. email because you don't want to seem like you're not a team player. This isn't a virtue, it's a trap. And it's a trap we build for ourselves. Because being always available makes you a tool, a utility. You become an emotional emergency button. People know that if they push you, they'll get a reaction. If they're lonely, they push the U button for company. If they're insecure, they push it for validation. If they're bored, they push it for distraction. They get their fix, and then they put you right back on the shelf until the next time they need something. You're so busy being present for everyone else that you're completely absent for yourself. You're trapped in the illusion that if you're there for everyone, someone will eventually be there for you. But it doesn't work that way, does it? The more you give, the more people expect. The more you bend, the more they push. Therefore, you end up drained, resentful, and holding an emptiness you can't even explain. I'll tell you why it's there. It's the void left by your own self-abandonment. Every time you say yes when you mean no, every time you force a smile, every time you jump to respond, you are abandoning yourself. You are telling yourself that their needs are more important than your peace. Their comfort is more important than your energy. Their expectations are more important than your truth. The great psychologist Carl Jung had a term for the mask we wear to be accepted and loved: the persona. And for many of us, our persona is that of the always available one, the reliable one, the one who has it all together. We wear this mask because we're terrified of what might happen if we take it off. We're afraid of being rejected, of being seen as selfish, of being abandoned. But this mask is suffocating you. It's forcing you to live a life that is a performance, not an existence. You're playing a role, and you're getting a standing ovation. But backstage, if you've made it this far, perhaps your soul is searching for more. Start your journey today and visit our growing library of transformative ebooks and audiobooks at wisedaily.org. The link is in the pinned comment below. Become the person you were meant to be and awaken your transformation today. You're collapsing from exhaustion. The applause is not for you. It's for the character you're playing. And the cost of that applause is your own soul. This isn't just about being tired. It's about a deep, spiritual drain. Jung talks about psychic energy. Think of it like your life force. It's not infinite. It's a precious, limited resource. And every single time you react impulsively, you're opening a tap and letting it flow out, usually into a bucket that will never be full. When you defend yourself against a criticism that didn't deserve a response, you're wasting energy. When you engage in a pointless argument on the internet, you're wasting energy. When you spend hours ruminating about why someone treated you badly, you're wasting energy. You are pouring your most valuable resource into things that do not nourish you, that do not build you, that do not love you back. And what happens when you're constantly drained? You become vulnerable. You become easy prey. Manipulative people, emotional vampires, they have a sixth sense for this. They can spot a person with leaky energy from a mile away. They see that you react to everything, that you're desperate for approval, that you have no boundaries, and they see you as a free, all-you-can-eat buffet. This video is not about learning to be cold or indifferent. It's about learning to be a fierce protector of your own inner world. It's about learning what Jung called individuation, the process of becoming whole, authentic, and complete. And that journey begins with a single, powerful decision: to stop being so damn available. It's time to learn the art of conscious unavailability. So, let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does this manipulation actually work? It's usually not loud or aggressive. The most effective manipulation is silent. It's subtle. It's the guilt trip, the passive-aggressive comment, the backhanded compliment. It's the friend who only calls when they're in a crisis, making you feel like their savior. It's the partner who praises you for being so easygoing, which is code for, "I love that you don't have any needs of your own." These people aren't relating to you. They are relating to the role you play in their story. You are the supporting actor in the movie of their life. And you've agreed to this casting because you're afraid of what will happen if you demand a leading role in your own. The manipulator doesn't need to control you. They just need you to be predictable. They know that if they poke your insecurity about being a good person, you'll react by bending over backward to prove them wrong. They know that if they hint that you're being selfish, you'll react by giving them whatever they want. Your reactions are the strings, and they are the puppet master. But the moment you stop reacting, the strings go slack. The moment you respond to a provocation with silence, the game is over. You've just taken the controller out of their hands, and this is deeply unsettling for them. Your silence is a mirror. When you stop talking, when you stop filling the space with your energy, you force them to sit in the silence with themselves. And in that silence, they are forced to confront their own emptiness, their own neediness, their own manipulative patterns. And most people will do anything to avoid that. So, they will lash out. They will call you cold. They will accuse you of being weird, of changing. They will create drama to try and pull a reaction out of you. They are like a child throwing a tantrum because their favorite toy has suddenly stopped working. You are not wrong for setting a boundary. You are just no longer functional for them, and their reaction is not a reflection of your character. It is a revelation of theirs. Jung said, "We do not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." When you withdraw your energy, you are not just protecting yourself. You are making the unconscious dynamics of the relationship conscious. You are shining a light on the darkness, and that is a terrifying thing for someone who thrives in the shadows. This is the price of your freedom. It will feel uncomfortable. You will be misunderstood. You may lose people you thought were your friends, but you are not losing them. You are losing the role you played for them. You are losing the illusion. Therefore, what you gain in return is something infinitely more valuable: yourself. This brings us to the most powerful tool in this entire process: strategic, conscious silence. Not the silence of fear, but the silence of sovereignty. It's the silence that says, "I see your move and I refuse to play." It's the silence that says, "My peace is more important than your drama." It's the silence that is not an absence of words, but a presence of mind. In this noisy, reactive world, silence is a superpower. It gives you space to observe, to see the patterns, to gain clarity. While everyone else is shouting, you are watching. While everyone else is reacting, you are choosing. You are no longer a pawn in someone else's game. You are the chessboard itself. This selective silence will make you incomprehensible to those who only knew how to read your reactions. But that is the point. You are becoming a mystery. You are becoming unpredictable. Therefore, you are becoming free. The most profound silence, however, is not the one you present to the world, but the one you cultivate within yourself. It's in that internal quiet, free from the demands and projections of others, that you can finally hear your own voice. It's where you begin to heal, to recover your energy, to reconnect with your true essence. So, how do we do this? How do we go from being an open access emotional resource to a fortified sovereign nation of one? It starts with small, deliberate acts of emotional discipline. It's not about building a wall. It's about building a gate and realizing you are the only one with the key. It starts with the pause. When you get that text that makes your stomach clench, you don't reply immediately. You put the phone down. You breathe. You give yourself the gift of time. You are not obligated to provide an instant reaction. Your peace is not a subscription service. It's learning to say no without a 10-page essay explaining why. No, I can't. Full stop. You don't owe anyone a justification for protecting your energy. Your no is a complete sentence. It's leaving a conversation when it becomes toxic. You don't need to win the argument. You just need to win back your peace. You can simply say, "I'm not going to continue this conversation," and walk away. You are not a gladiator in anyone else's emotional arena. It's turning off your phone for a few hours without feeling guilty. It's choosing to be unavailable so that you can be fully available to yourself. With every small act of withdrawal, you are reclaiming a piece of your psychic energy. You are plugging the leaks in your spiritual dam. And as your energy returns, your life begins to change. You start to attract people who respect your boundaries because they have their own. You start to engage in activities that nourish you, not drain you. You start to build a life that is a true reflection of who you are, not a reaction to who the world wants you to be. This is the ultimate goal. The end game is not to be alone. The end game is to be so deeply and joyfully at home with yourself that your solitude is a sanctuary, not a punishment. To build a life so rich, so full, so authentic, that the approval of others becomes irrelevant. And from that place of wholeness, the relationships that come into your life will be different. They won't be based on neediness or codependency. They will be based on mutual respect, admiration, and a shared celebration of two complete, sovereign souls choosing to walk together for a while. So, I'm asking you, looking you right in the eye, how long will you continue to be a puppet in someone else's show? How long will you let your own wounds be the buttons that others push for their own amusement? Maybe it's time to cut the strings. Maybe it's time to withdraw, to go silent, to become a mystery, not to them, but to yourself. To discover the incredible, powerful, whole person who has been waiting patiently behind the mask. When you stop being available to everyone, you finally become available to the one person who matters most, you. And that, my friend, is when everything truly changes. Let's go even deeper. Let's talk about the shadow, another one of Jung's brilliant concepts. The shadow is everything within us that we've disowned, repressed, and refused to look at. It's the parts of ourselves we've been taught are bad or unacceptable. Our anger, our envy, our selfishness, our raw ambition. For many of us, especially those socialized as women, the pressure to be nice is so immense that we've shoved our entire shadow into the darkest corner of our psychic basement and thrown away the key. We become the nice one, the sweet one, the easygoing one. We don't make waves, we don't cause trouble. We swallow our anger and call it peace. We suppress our needs and call it generosity. We become so identified with our persona of niceness that we are terrified of our own shadow. But here's the crucial part. That which we do not own owns us. The more you repress your shadow, the more it controls you from behind the scenes. Therefore, your repressed anger might leak out as passive aggression. Your repressed ambition might curdle into resentment of other people's success. Your repressed need for boundaries might manifest as chronic fatigue or illness. Your constant availability is often a desperate attempt to keep your own shadow locked away. You think that if you're always giving, always pleasing, always saying yes, then you can prove to yourself and everyone else that you are a good person. You are running from your own complexity. You are terrified that if you stop performing niceness for even a second, the monster in the basement will get out and reveal you for who you really are. A human being. A complex, messy, beautiful human being with both light and dark inside you. The journey of conscious unavailability is a journey into the shadow. It's about having the courage to go down into that basement, not with a sword, but with a lantern. It's about sitting down with your anger and asking it what boundary has been crossed. It's about acknowledging your envy and asking it what desire it's pointing to. It's about admitting that sometimes you are selfish, and that's okay. That you have needs, and that's okay. That you are not an infinite resource, and that's okay. When you start to own your shadow, you no longer need to perform niceness. You can just be real. You can be kind, not just nice. Kindness is authentic. It comes from a place of strength and wholeness. Niceness is often a performance. It comes from a place of fear and a need for approval. A kind person can say no with compassion. A nice person says yes with resentment. This is why your withdrawal is so threatening to others. It's not just that you've stopped being a resource for them. It's that your authenticity is a mirror to their own inauthenticity. Your courage to face your shadow reminds them of the monster they've locked in their own basement. Your wholeness highlights their own fragmentation. And rather than do the hard work of facing themselves, it's much easier to label you as the problem, to call you selfish or difficult or cold. Don't buy into it. Their labels are not your reality. They are a reflection of their own fear. Okay, so we've talked about the why, the deep psychological reasons behind this pattern. But theory without practice is just intellectual entertainment. So let's get brutally practical. How do you actually do this? How do you go from being an emotional doormat to a sovereign being? You must learn the art of the sacred no. A sacred no is a no that is not an apology. It is not a negotiation. It is a clean, clear, and compassionate boundary that honors your own energy and peace above the expectations of others. It is a yes to yourself. Let's workshop this. That friend who always calls you to vent for an hour, but never asks how you are. The next time they call, you have a few options. You can let it go to voicemail. That is a perfectly valid choice. You are not a 24/7 crisis hotline. Or you can pick up and say, "Hey, I can't talk right now, but I hope you get it sorted." Or even more powerfully, "Hey, I've only got about 5 minutes to talk." You are setting the container. You are defining the terms of your availability. That family member who always makes passive-aggressive comments about your life choices during holiday dinners. You have been trained to either absorb it in silence or to get into a defensive argument. Both of these are reactions that feed the dynamic. The third option, the path of conscious unavailability, is to simply not engage. When the comment comes, you can look at them, give a small, neutral smile, and then turn to the person next to you and say, "So, how about that local sports team?" You are not accepting the bait. You are letting the hook dangle in the air. It is incredibly powerful. It short-circuits their entire program. What about the pressure of the immediate reply? The text message, the email, the DM? We have been conditioned to believe that an unread message is a moral failing. It's not. It's a choice. You can turn off your notifications. You can decide to only check your messages at certain times of the day. You are not a public utility. You do not owe the world instant access to your attention. When you start doing this, it will feel terrifying. Your nervous system will scream at you that you are being a bad person. You will feel a surge of guilt. This is the withdrawal from the drug of approval. You have to be willing to sit in that discomfort, breathe through it. Remind yourself, my peace is my priority. My energy is my most valuable resource. I am allowed to protect it. This isn't about being a jerk. It's about being discerning. It's about treating your time and energy with the same respect you would treat a precious, non-renewable resource. Because that's exactly what it is. You start to see your energy as a currency, and you stop giving it away to people and situations that are emotional black holes. You start to ask yourself, is this person or situation a good investment for my energy? Will it nourish me, inspire me, or connect me to something meaningful? Or will it drain me, diminish me, and leave me feeling empty? This simple question becomes your filter. It becomes your boundary, and it will change your life. Your circle may get smaller, but the quality of it will increase exponentially. You will be left with the people who love you, not the role you play. The people who respect your boundaries because they have their own. The people who are not looking for a resource, but for a connection. Therefore, your life, while perhaps quieter, will become infinitely more authentic, more peaceful, and more joyful. You are no longer performing, you are simply living, and it is a beautiful thing to witness, powerful thing to witness, to finally just be.